The close of play score then, New Zealand in their second innings requiring 479 to win, 56 for 2. Leg by. So that's the half-century partnership for CONGDON and Hastings, the first 50 partnership of the match for New Zealand. And that's a beautiful piece of bowling. And yes, it must have been, well, obviously was very close because Hastings been given out. But there's a fine piece of bowling by Jeffrey Arnold. That really did come back very sharply indeed. So Burgess on a pair, greeted with a bouncer from Jeffrey Arnold. In the first innings, Burgess was out, caught at the wicket by Alan Knott off Arnold's bowling. He was one of 4 ducks in the New Zealand first innings. It's 4 runs. Again, not all that far away from Ray Illingworth. So it goes on now to 72 for 3, and Burgess is off the mark. At the boundary, Jeff Boycott, the man just going out of picture, is the sole fieldsman on the offside in front of the wicket. Illingworth able to employ a very attacking field here. It's a good over from Arnold. Fine piece of bowling. That's out. Fletcher. Fletcher is a little premature there, but it was going straight down the line and straight into Fletcher's 2 hands. Didn't have to move an inch. In fact, I don't think his feet moved a fraction. Outside edge now, CONGDON, and absolutely straight. And straight from hands to ground. That's his 50. And a good fighting innings as well. Made his 50 in 104 minutes, and it's his 18th half-century in Test cricket. Again, a firmly hit stroke into that untenanted cover area. Boycott, the man chasing again. Just 3 runs to CONGDON. It brings up the New Zealanders' 100. 100 for 3. And 6 runs so far from this over from Jeff Arnold, who is bowling his first over of the match from the Radcliffe Road end.
It's a short one again. Pulled away around to long leg. No chance of John Snow cutting that off. So for the second time, he's been hooked away down there by Bev CONGDON. A little milestone now for Bevan CONGDON. Moved on to 68, which is his top score in a test match in this country. Although bear in mind, he's made 300s for New Zealand. Oh, good ball. Beauty, and that's the end of him. Moved away. Another wicket for Arnold. Burgess gone. And that one went pretty late. And a vital wicket being picked up here by Jeff Arnold. Fine shot. Used his feet right to the pitch of the ball. Driven firmly through mid-on for 4.
That's it. And a fine innings from Congdon. Boycott is the fieldsman. Coming away out to deep mid-on, and it's Bevan Congdon's 100. He goes on to 101 now. It's his 4th century in Test cricket. It's taken him 218 minutes, and he's hit 13 boundaries. It's his 2nd Test 100 against England. So after 10 overs, Vic Pollard has hit his first boundary. Goes on now to 8. Congdon is 105, 174 for 4. It's a lovely shot. Boycott won't cut that off. It's 4 runs. Nice footwork there by Bevan Congdon. And it's his 14th boundary. And that's a fine shot too. And that may well signal the end of Norman Gifford's spell of slow medium pace left arm bowling. Illingworth then comes on to bowl to Bevan Congdon. 4 runs, and Congdon stroking the ball beautifully now. Very powerful round about that cover point area. And it's his 16th boundary.
These two now put on 69 for the 5th wicket. Well, it's nice to see a spin bowler giving the ball a bit of air, and in this situation, Illingworth can afford to flight it and to tempt the batsman a bit to buy his wickets. With all these runs to play with, New Zealand needing 479. Full pitch, and a magnificent stop by Tony Greig. My goodness, is he out? Not out. What a marvellous piece of fielding. I was looking for the ball to run away to the extra cover boundary. Full pitch. Pollard hits it out on the offside. Tony Greig, a really quite dramatic stop. Falling over himself and somehow off balance, Pollard having to scamper back. Tony Greig, the sort of cricketer you simply cannot keep out of the action. Sweep. And John Snow will not catch that up. It's 4 runs. Illingworth straying a little bit offline there. And so the 200 coming up in 300 minutes. So this has been a determined fight back by New Zealand. 203 for 4.
Up and over the top, it's in the air. Is it going to be safe? Lewis is coming round, he's under it, but oh dear. Never got a hand to it. I rather fancy it went through his hands. It's gone for 4. Well, Ray Illingworth not looking terribly happy about that, because this is really what it was after. Tempting Congdon, coming for the big hit, lofting it over long on. Nicely played square on the leg side by Pollard. 2 runs. Good applause for these two who've now put on exactly 100 runs. Last wicket going down at 130.
And That's a good delivery. They're really bowling well, this pair, since tee, putting everything into it. Jeff Arnold whipping that ball back between Congdon's bat and pad, and the ball kept just a little bit low as well. That's a nasty one again. So still, this pitch causing the batsman many problems.
Bevan Congdon has a chance a good chance too, the way he's batting here, of becoming the highest scorer for New Zealand against England of all time.
Arnold is the fieldsman at deep third man. And that is Congdon's 150. .241 for 4. 28 to Pollard, 150 to Congdon. And Ray Illingworth might just be starting to worry a little bit. He'd like another breakthrough. Give him something like an hour and a quarter, some fresh batsmen before stumps. That's a good shot. That really is a nice, authentic forcing shot through cover point of the back foot. Pollard getting into beautiful position for that and clubbing it away past Boycott's left hand. There was no chance of Boycott cutting that off. And a fine stroke from Vic Pollard. That'll be Pollard's half century. Warm applause here from the Trent Bridge crowd for a fine innings. Half century to Pollard, and in addition it equals the best ever fifth wicket stand by a New Zealand pair in a test match against England. The previous 141 was made by Burgess and Shrimpton at Auckland in 1970-71, so 2 milestones in one stroke. That's safe. Well now, I don't know, Ted. I don't think that went over Fletcher's head. I think it sort of went through the level of his hands.
This time off the back foot, a little squarer by Pollard. Plenty of time to come back for the second run. And that second run bringing up the 300 here. Well, it's taken 443 minutes to come up, but really a truly wonderful achievement, this. One eye on the clock now for Bev Congdon. He's on 176. And he's just under 15 minutes to see this day out. And it's it. Bowled him. Jeff Arnold's broken this partnership. So when England had just about given up hope of ever getting another wicket, I fancy, they've got the one they wanted most of all. Congdon, bowled by Jeff Arnold, for a really superb 176. I'm quite sure that's the greatest innings that he's played in his career, and he'll have to go a long way yet to beat it. Arnold joining in with the England players. Very nice to see all the England team standing up there applauding Bev Congdon off the field. The crowd that here rising from the seats and giving acclaim for this New Zealand batsman. A really superb exhibition by him. 409 minutes he's been out there, including 19 fours, and really made it all worthwhile for New Zealand. Years of age, Ken Wadsworth made useful runs in this sort of cricket. Top score of 78 in Test matches. Applause in turn for the Surrey bowler Jeff Arnold, taking his 4th wicket of the innings in his 35th over. Arnold here keeping going right to the end in his 36th over. That's a long spell for a quick bowler. He's really tried hard as he could go all the way along the line on a very placid pitch now.
So, a great innings by the New Zealand captain, Bev Congdon, of 176. And at 317 for 5, at close of play, the match precariously poised. It could go either way. New Zealand still needing 162 with 5 wickets in hand to write their country right into the Test match history books.